There's so much information about trading psychology out there, and when I was looking for answers myself on how to improve it, I was only getting met with generic sort of replies from people. Oh, if you've got FOMO trading, you need to sort out your trading psychology. Oh, if you revenge trade, you need to sort out your trading psychology. And all it left me with was more questions. And that's mostly, how do I actually improve my trading psychology? So this video is for people who are looking for those kind of answers and have got an edge, or they've got an idea of how to get money out of the market, but your mentality and your mindset isn't really aligned with what you need to be doing in order to do it consistently. It's not complete guidance psychology or trading psychology, but it's just a way to give you your first steps in improving. The thing with trading psychology is that it's not like a hat that you put on when you get to the charts. It's not like, okay, I'm going to go into my trading psychology mode now. And then when you're done for the day and you go and eat your dinner, you're in your eating my dinner psychology hat, so you behave in a certain way for that. Or you go to work in your work psychology hat and you act in a different way. Trading psychology falls under the whole roof of just your psychology, your mindset, your mentality. And if you look at ways that you live your life, you're going to be bringing those into trading. Trading is just a manifestation of your problems. It's just shining a light on the issues that you have in your mentality. So for example, if you go down to the shop and you're in a queue and you're impatient and you get stressed, you're going to get stressed and impatient when you're sitting at the charts waiting for your setup to form. And then you'll force things because of this kind of underlying emotion of this issue that you've got with accepting the situation as it is. The two behaviors are connected. You don't just fix one and ignore the other, but it's way easier to fix the daily habit versus the trading habit. One will come after the other. If you have a hard time accepting that you're wrong in life, it's going to show up in your trading. You're going to take revenge trades and things like that, but it may manifest in other ways in your life where it creates friction in your relationships with people. And when someone says something to you, you will not accept it as truth. And therefore you have a little bit of a rocky time with someone. Just because then you're able to put aside revenge trading when you're wrong doesn't mean that you're going to live your life in a way where you can accept being wrong around others. It's all connected. So really, you need to fix your overall psychology and your overall life in order to improve your trading. It's not just one particular small piece of the pie that is trading psychology with a label on it. It is the whole thing that you need to focus on. And that's really what we need to talk about more. It's not just technical analysis and trading psychology. It is literally the person that you are. So in my opinion, there are two things that you need to internalize about trading. Firstly, you literally need to change who you are to get the money you want. Your life today is a product of everything that you've done before today. So whatever you've got in your life going on, whatever situation that you're in, emotionally and materialistically, is everything that's caught up with you from previous days and previous years in your life. So if you're not at where you want to be with money or with your profitability or with your consistency in trading, you need to change something about yourself completely. You need to be a completely different person. The second thing that you need to internalize is that trading is a catalyst for self-improvement. And I think you need to look at it this way rather than looking at trading as a way to make money. If you do it like this, you'll not only improve your life, but you'll get paid at the same time. The thing with looking at it, trading this way as a catalyst for self-improvement is that you will go into the charts and your behaviors and your bad habits will be brought to the surface, and it will shine a light on the problems that you have in your life. With that information, you can go about your daily life and see where else you're creating these problems for yourself. Like I said, this could be with people, it could be in the workplace, it could be paying your bills, something like that. It could be absolutely anything. But once you change that behavior in your life with consistency, and then it will show up in your trading. You have to fix your mindset first, you have to fix your life first, and then trading comes second. The journey is difficult, it's dark and it's lonely, and it will take you through many different stages of epiphanies and grief. But trust me, on the other side of it, you wouldn't swap it for anything else. So it kind of goes back to the original question, how do you actually go about improving your psychology or your trading psychology? With all of this in mind, that trading is a catalyst for self-improvement, the first thing you need to do is actually identify the issues that you have. And the best way I've found is using Tom Dante's Demon Hunter, which I'll put a link to in the description below. This is basically an Excel sheet, if you haven't heard of it before, where you get to figure out what particular issues or demons are holding you back from being the consistent, profitable trader that you want to be. The knowledge of their existence isn't enough, because you've probably got an idea of what your problems are, like FOMO, like revenge trading, like fear of execution, and sticking to your plan. But having it as cold, hard data in front of you really shines a light on what the actual problem is, and it gives it to you cold, hard facts that you need to do something about it, especially when you're committing the same problems over and over and again. And this is a really great tool to do so. I've had many issues myself, and this Demon Hunter was great for me. One of my biggest issues was greed and not sticking to my plan. For example, having a take profit target for 2.53R, and then when price got close to it, moving my take profit higher to try and squeeze more out of the market instead of sticking to my plan. And this would manifest in other areas of my life, such as having unrealistic expectations of things or neglecting certain things because it wasn't enough. And this definitely became a bit of a fracture with my relationships with people as a result. And it all kind of stemmed from not having enough as a child. That's how I was able to recognize this problem. The greed came from a lack of abundance as a child and through most of my life, so that when I was able to get more, I always wanted more and more and more. So the second thing you do after identifying your issues is to ask yourself a series of questions about why you behave in the way that you do. And this is why I'm such a big advocate for journaling and meditating, because it gives you time to have a conversation with yourself. It gives you time to kind of reflect on periods of your life where some of these behaviors and habits have shown up before. You'll ask yourself things like, why do I FOMO trade? Why do I find it hard to accept missing out? Where else in life have I acted in a similar way? What were some things in my life that I missed out on that caused me great distress? And you'll find that there are a number of things that contribute to that feeling, and you carry that feeling in literally everything in life because something scarred you deep down. But it's up to you to figure out how to make peace with it, and that usually comes from self-belief and self-respect. And that is very personal, and it's something that a trading psychology course can't teach you, may not even be able to shine the light on what that issue is, because it is so different for absolutely every single person. It's such a subjective thing. Your problems are completely different to somebody else's problems, and somebody else's problems are completely different to your problems, which is why you should never compare yourself to other traders. It's up to you to figure out how to make peace with that thing, whatever is holding you back. But I've found that it usually comes from self-belief, or a lack of it, and a lack of self-respect. And this leads me to my third point, and this is basically the way to take your first steps to improving your overall psychology / your trading psychology. Your trading psychology, again, is part of your overall psychology. You need to set yourself new daily habits, especially if you lack self-belief. You won't find self-belief in trading, and you will have to look for improvement in other areas to give you evidence that you can do trading consistently. So, for example, you need to challenge yourself to a period of time where you do something that you don't want to do, or something that you know will improve your life, but stick to it absolutely regardless of whatever situation is presented in front of you. Once you've had that period of time doing something that you said that you were going to do, it acts as a reference point for you to then be able to look back on afterwards and say to yourself, I did this thing, so I can do another thing. You can do these habits related to whatever your particular demons are, your particular issues and emotional problems. So for example, if you have an issue with fear of executing your plan, you can make a plan every single day to do something new, and then stick to that plan and do it. And then once you've got the results from that plan in front of you, you'll build reference points to know a feeling of what it feels like once you've completed your plan, regardless of the outcome of that plan. However, it could be just in really simple things that you add to your life that are going to improve you. For me, I added a load of different things, which I'm going to talk about now, which improved my self-belief and my self-respect. Because one of the biggest things you can do for yourself is keep your word to yourself. It's simple and easy to lie to other people, and it's very easy to not feel attached to that lie that you make to other people, or to let down other people. But if you let yourself down, it chips away at your soul, and the more you do it, the harder it is to climb back out of that hole that you dig for yourself. Doing a small habit like walking 5,000 steps a day, if you commit to it and you say you're going to commit to it for 30 days and you do it for 30 days, your self-respect will improve and your self-belief will improve because of it. And once you've got that one thing that you've done, that one particular thing that you've committed to and got success with, you will then have way more confidence in adding something else, like maybe reading a book for 30 minutes a day, or meditating for 15 minutes a day, or writing in a journal at the end of the day about how your day went. Because you've got that belief and you've got the results from one particular task, it will carry over to this one. This is why you can't find it in trading, because trading takes so long to get successful with, and it takes so much effort and work that you could be spending years and years in a rut, when all you have to do to get a little bit more self-belief is just challenge yourself elsewhere. It could be a bit of exercise that you do each day. It could be something like doing 10 push-ups every morning when you get up. It could even be as simple as making sure that the house is clean. And this leads on to point number 4, and the last point, which is be consistent with it. One of the things which held me back in trading for too long was that I knew how to make money, but I didn't know how to keep it. And that really is the answer for consistency with trading. It's learning how to make money and keep it, rather than just focusing on how to make cash. And there's so many ways to make cash, and anyone can make money with trading. It's really not that hard to do so, but it's very difficult to be consistent with it. And you learn the consistency of good habits and good behaviors through consistency of habits elsewhere. Like I said, whether it's walking 5,000 steps a day or writing in a journal at the end of the day. If you do that for a period of time, it then becomes who you are. If you don't complete something in that day that you know you said yourself you're going to do, it will nag away at you. It will feel like something's missing in the world. It will feel like something's a little bit off until you go about and do that task. And then you have this feeling of satisfaction. You have this feeling that you've done something correct and that you've worked to improve yourself. It helps you sleep better at night as well. And to be honest, you probably know the answer to this anyway about setting new habits. It's just a case of having to actually go ahead and do it. No one can teach you how to improve your psychology. It has to come from within. You have to have been burned enough times. You have to be fed up enough of your own situation to have to commit to making a change. Sometimes it's with a low point in your life where you just get fed up and decide to yourself, like, fuck this, I'm gonna change now. Or it could be listening to something like this, and I hope this has been valuable for you. Like I said, there's not a huge amount of information on how to actually improve your trading psychology, and it's not found in worksheets and courses. It comes from within. And in my experience, from my own trading and speaking with many other traders, it all comes from a lack of self-belief and self-respect. And that manifests in a number of different harmful ways, like FOMO trading and revenge trading and risking too much, moving your stop loss, all this type of thing. But all it takes is just that one step. These are just your first steps. This is all you want to focus on now. I can't tell you how to improve your psychology to go from 0 to 100. All I can tell you is how to take the first steps, and this is it. Commit to a new habit, and then as you go down the path, more of the path will reveal itself to you about what you need to do next. what you need to add to your routine. This will help you with your consistency in trading, because when that voice appears to you, when you know you shouldn't do something, you will have reference points from doing the right behaviors elsewhere. So when you say to yourself, I don't want to go out today and walk because it's raining and it's cold, and that voice says to you, no, you committed to it, you have to go and do it. When you're trading and that voice says to you, go on, it looks like it's going to rip up, it's not technically valid, but go on, you don't want to miss out. You will then start fueling and feeding the voice that says, no, this is not part of my setup and my plan, so I will not do it. And that's all built from reference points elsewhere in your life. But yeah, when it comes to trading psychology, that's what I think anyway. What do you make of it?